We would like to thank our amazing sponsor, Touring Plans Travel. Their destination specialists are experts in smart travel and are there to help you plan an amazing Disney vacation. Whether you are looking at Disney World, a Disney cruise, or anywhere in the world, they will book you an amazing vacation and it costs you nothing. Their services are completely free, so head over to touringplans.com/travel and tell them Rope Drop Radio sent you. Now, on to the show.
Helping you navigate the Disney parks.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
You're listening to Rope Drop Radio.
Welcome to another Rope Drop Radio. Derek and Doug recording on location at the Magic Kingdom. We are finishing up our Rope Drop Radio trip.
Yes, we are. We're back by Pete's Silly Sideshow. And I just ate a gigantic cinnamon roll, so I can feel the diabetes setting in.
Yeah, hopefully we can actually get through this without falling asleep after all that sugar. But we have had a lot of fun, done a lot of really great things, met a lot of you, a lot of our Patreons, a lot of our listeners. It's been pretty incredible.
Yes, thank you to everyone who came out to a meet and greet, even the people that didn't come to the meetups, that said hello along the way. Thank you very much. Today, we're just going to jump into it. We're not going to do any Patreon or Apple Podcast review, but thank you to all of those.
Yeah, I will say for Patreon, I've had a few people message me about D23 because I literally, Doug, took a red eye from here, from LA to MCO, which I'll never do again. I did record a couple episodes on D23, so if you want to check those out, go into the show notes, click that link, and you can hear more about that.
Yes, and we've put a few things up while we're traveling on there for the, I think it's the churro level. Thank you to everybody that's upgraded that, but let's get to it. Day one, I flew in, you flew in super early. Also, Joe Kaplan in our immediate travel party, Lauren Shields, Touring Plans Travel Agent, Michelle McKnight, Touring Plans Travel Agent, and my wife, and Alex Sinek, also Touring Plans Travel Agent. So thank you to Touring Plans for sponsoring us on this trip. They put us up at French Quarter and bought some cinnamon rolls and waters.
Yeah, thank you for everything that you guys have done and sponsored a lot of our giveaways, which we'll talk about more here in a second. But let's talk about what some of the things that we did, including rope drop and rides and attractions. Doug, what are some of the highlights for you?
Highlights, well, meeting people was a big highlight. Getting Galactic Hero at our Galactic Hero Challenge, as I was the only Galactic Hero, Derek.
Yeah. Well, let's talk. Okay, we'll jump into that. So we decided to do a meetup for Buzz Lightyear Galactic Hero. So we were going to teach you how to be awesome. And what we realized, or at least I realized right away, is when you have 12 people shooting at the same target, you're not able to see where you're shooting. You don't know if that's my dot, if that's the person behind me dot. So Derek failed at that one miserably.
Yeah, I was lucky to get it with how many people were aiming at the spots, because there's only about 4 or 5 targets in the whole thing you need to shoot at. So when everybody's shooting at them, it gets confusing. But that was a fun meetup. We gave away a Rope Drop Radio Cup to the winner of the Galactic Hero Challenge.
Congratulations, Ashton, for winning that. You got the best score out of everyone besides Doug.
Yeah.
Because Doug's the best. But anyway, we did go back and do it later, and I did redeem myself, so I did get the Galactic Hero sticker with Doug.
Derek still is a Galactic Hero, no worries.
That I actually burned one of the rope drops to be able to do that, and Doug made fun on our final day this morning. I was like, no, we're rope dropping Buzz. It's not the best strategy in the world, but I need to get a sticker.
Stickers are important in life. Yeah. So after that meetup, who all was at that meetup, Derek? Or maybe just say all the names of the great people we saw.
So everyone that came out to meet up with us, we want to give you a shout out. Chloe and Ashton, Corey and Zach, Michelle and Nika, who wore our shirts, by the way. You get bonus points. Matt Stout, Misty and Melody, Mary, David, Christina, Kelly, Wade, Sarah, and their kids. Thank you so much for coming to all of our meetups.
Chad.
Oh, and Chad, yes. Thank you so much, Chad, for coming a little bit late. We just kind of ate and drank around the world, and a few people stopped over, said hello, got some drinks. So thank you guys so much for just meeting up with us. It's so humbling for Doug and I that we've been doing this show for 6.5 years, and we have people listening and changing park reservations to make sure they can come see us where we're at. So that means the world to us. So thank you everyone who took time out of your schedule. It's not easy to do. To be like, hey, you're going to take 30 minutes out of your day to do something with Derek and Doug when you're at Walt Disney World.
Disney's busy. You got that planned down to the minute sometimes. So it really means a lot. It's not easy meeting up with people. We stayed at French Quarter. Somehow everybody that was staying there in the party was in a different building, which is impressive. But at French Quarter, that's not a big deal because it's kind of a small resort. It's the most compact, moderate. I actually really liked it.
I enjoyed it for what it was.
Moderate.
It was a moderate. That's it. I'm starting to get kind of snooty, and I like my deluxes a little bit more now.
Derek getting all his pinky's out right now while he's taking a sip of water, folks. He's just he's highfalutin now. But I can go and slum it at a value if I need be. But I enjoyed French Quarter. It was very nice, very clean. I like the refurb. The beds were very good. The floor was, the hardwood floor. Bathroom's been redone. I like it.
Overall is great, and we didn't really have to rely on buses too much except for our first little jaunts. But Doug got us a rental car, and I think that was the scariest part of the trip, just allowing Doug to drive this bright blue Jeep all around, though easy to find, so that made it great.
Picked the brightest vehicle in the Alamo lot, so that was fun. So that first night after we were done with our meetup, then we went to Yachtsman for dinner. Yachtsman Steakhouse. Derek, how was it?
It was really good. It's been on my checklist for a long time. And also UCF Kent Mullins came out to dinner with us. So another Patreon. Thank you for meeting up. They ran out of prime rib. I went for the prime rib. A steakhouse that prides itself on prime rib. We get there at 7 p.m. and they're out of prime rib.
That was bizarre. I think you just made the server mad because he had a cheese joke ready to go because you were wearing Green Bay Packers stuff. And then Derek's like, yeah, I do lactose intolerant. It ruined the joke, Derek.
I ruined the joke, so he ruined my steak. But overall, it was good. It was slow service, slightly on the pricey side for what you get.
The slow service is part of the atmosphere.
That's not my style. But overall, the meat was good. That was a lot of meat to eat late at night.
I would say this. It's similar to main dining rotation on a Disney Cruise Line.
I agree with that completely. But glad we did it because I've been wanting to do it, and thank you guys for getting the ADR and you surprised me with it, so I didn't even know. So I think Doug and Michelle wanted to get a restaurant that I'd never done, and that was a huge win. So I thank you for that.
That was a good one. And then after that, we went back to French Quarter, and on Friday, Saturday, Sundays, there's live music at Scat Cats. So we went and had a beverage and enjoyed some live music before calling it a night.
Which we may regret because it's Rope Drop Radio and we get up early every day. So definitely, but fun. We did not sleep much on this trip at all.
Sleep is boring. So we were moving. So the next morning, it was a big special day for us. Another bucket list item for Derek. And we ate at Derek's favorite Italian restaurant for breakfast. I'll let him say it.
Tortellini alla forno. Nailed it. Got it right. First time over at the boardwalk.
Yeah, that was perfect. So we had breakfast there. It was good. And then our VIP driver picked us up, or tour guide, the driver and the tour guide picked us up from the boardwalk, and off we went. Special thank you to Alex Neck, travel agent at Touring Plans, who took us and Joe from Back to the Mouse, and Michelle and Lauren, also Touring Plans travel agents, on the VIP tour. Can't say thank you enough to Alex. So go follow him on social media at Sinek Travel or something like that. I'm really bad with hashtags. No, usernames.
Yep, that's right. And honestly, if you listened to a show last year, I said I had two bucket list items, and one was D23, the other one was VIP tour. Knocked them both out on this trip. So I need to start a new bucket.
Your bucket's it's got some holes in it now. It's getting empty. It's checking them all off. So the VIP tour is great. So you kind of have to go into one with a plan if you want to accomplish stuff. And our goal was to do all of the things. That was really the goal, all the e-tickets. So we were either going to start at Hollywood Studios or Animal Kingdom. We told that to the tour guide. Let her decide what would work best. It was going to depend on one thing, Derek.
What attractions are broken and what park we found out was completely broken that morning.
Yeah, so Hollywood Studios had to be unplugged and plugged back in. So we went to Animal Kingdom.
5 rides?
Yeah, it was like everything that morning. So went to Animal Kingdom, did Flight of Passage, Everest, met Mickey and Minnie, and then hopped back in the van, went over to Hollywood Studios. Somebody had found the on switch and did Rise, Millennium Falcon, Rockin', Slinky, and Toy Story Mania. Let's talk about Millennium Falcon for a second. Derek, did you enjoy that?
Oh, I loved it. It's another big surprise, something I've always wanted to do that Doug has done once before. We finally had 6 people that you can know, you can trust, and we got Chewbacca mode. So it is a trick. You have to tell the cast member, you'll have to do a sequence, and then Chewie just basically yells at you the whole time you're flying.
Right. I would not want it to be my first time on that ride because it's just a little weird. But because on the actual ride, Hondo tells you some things you have to do, and unless you speak, Wookiee or whatever it's called, you'd no idea what's going on. But it's cool. He just screams at you for the whole time.
Yeah, definitely a highlight. Glad we were able to get done. I know our party was a little bit worried, but our cast member actually helped us out quite a bit. So shout out to if you tell them and you have an idea of how to do it, they will help you. And it's not guaranteed, but thankfully we were able to lock it in.
I think you have to tell the cast member as you get up to loading. Yep. And they asked if we knew how to do it. I said yes. I described the process to them. And I think that's why she was on board with doing it, because it does take them a little bit more time. And she helped a few people push the buttons the right way to make sure it happened, because I think most of our travel party was worried they were going to screw it up and we would yell at them for the rest of the day.
That sounds about right. I didn't want to screw it up. I'm glad you and I were pilots. We did terrible. I may have hit a couple things on purpose, but it's one of the worst scores I've gotten.
It's harder to pilot while you're being yelled at by Chewbacca. It's pressure.
That's true.
It's pressure.
I agree. So yeah, Millennium Falcon, huge highlight. Another huge highlight on the tour is our tour guide is a former cast member at Midway Mania and just destroyed all of us. But Doug got to go with her and learn a whole bunch of new secrets that we might have to share on some Patreon or special episodes.
I got to practice them a little more. We went one more time yesterday after the tour, and I got some work to do to figure them out. There's a lot of timing involved with it. So I now know how those people get 500,000 scores. Like, oh, that's how you do it. I mean, she worked at Toy Story Mania before getting into the VIP tour guide realm, and she played it a lot.
Her record was like almost 500,000. So it's still, it's insane. I barely, you know what? I just won when I went against Back to the Mouse and when I went against Lauren. So there you go. I just held my head high in that realm.
You got to take the victories where you can get them, Derek. You got to take the victories. So Hollywood Studios was great. Then we grabbed lunch at ABC Commissary. One thing that's weird to me about the VIP tours is it doesn't give you any advantage at a restaurant.
None. I thought that too, because when I did Keys to the Kingdom, I had written down beginning of the day what I wanted, and so when we walked by, the food's already ready, we eat and we get back on tour. I assumed something similar. I was incorrect. No,
it's no advantage. The big advantage of the VIP tour, just to summarize it, is the van that takes you backstage to backstage. You walk in right next to attractions. You're not walking from a bus or riding a bus. So park hopping is the best it will ever be in your life. And then unlimited lightning lanes. Yeah.
Yep, the air conditioning car. That's the easiest way to do all 4 parks in one day. No joke. But it is pricey. If you guys were wondering, if you do want a quote, please hit up the Touring Plans people and get a quote. It could be definitely very useful for kids and families if you want to ensure to get all the attractions that you need to get done.
If you want to do all the attractions, like we did a ton, it's still work. We were still dripping in sweat. You still have to walk fast. Like, they don't carry you from place to place. But it is pricey, but it can be worth it. So after lunch, we headed over to the Magic Kingdom, where we basically did the mountain range minus Splash Mountain. The reason we didn't do Splash Mountain is because it's a 10-minute long ride. We only have the VIP tour for so long, so we chose not to do longer attractions. Like, we didn't do Safari, because that could have eaten up 40 minutes if an animal decides to lay an egg in the middle of the path.
Those eggs probably still haven't hatched anyway, that have been sitting there to the ostrich. The greatest thing, though, is we did finish up the tour at Epcot, so Doug didn't, but I got to finally do Guardians for the second time. A couple of our people hadn't done it yet, so the newest attraction, they were able to get us on there, and definitely great attraction. I love it, but not my favorite still, but we did get definitely unique, and if you haven't done it, well worth it.
Yeah, it's hard to describe. It's not quite like anything else at Walt Disney World. But we timed up the end of our tour perfectly because basically she tapped you guys into Guardians and then she's done. That was our time. So we timed that pretty good. It was a great experience. Really appreciate Alex for taking all of us on that VIP tour.
Yes, thank you, Alex, so much. So how did we finish the night after a VIP tour? Did we just go back to the room and rest?
Well, after that, I mean, we ran through Magic Kingdom. We had to hydrate, Derek. We had to hydrate. And where else do you hydrate at Epcot than La Cava de La Tila?
Which started our next meet and greet, our La Cava one. So got some awesome drinks in there. And definitely the highlight for this is Michelle and Nico. We're walking out of La Cava and I see a couple of our shirts. And so I kind of try to sneak in the background, not knowing who they were. They're taking a selfie. So I jump in the background and Michelle's one of our Patreons. So thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to meet up with us. But just seeing the shirts I designed out in the park in Epcot where they're supposed to be was a huge highlight, and for you, Michelle, thank you so much for wearing them. And yeah, that was awesome to meet you. And Matt Stout came out as well.
Matt Stout. If you really want to make Derek happy, wear one of our shirts. It makes his day. It's amazing. He's like a giddy school child.
Every time. And when someone tags us on anything with one of our shirts on, it makes me really happy. So thank you so much for you guys who had them on. And yeah, then we ate and drank around the world. We met up with Chad from My DVC Points podcast and Patreon as well. And yeah, just kind of took our time. We didn't really do any attractions, just did the whole eating and drinking thing.
Snuck Ratatouille in there.
Yeah, we did do that.
And then the touring plans agents went over to the Magic Kingdom to watch the new tag on the fireworks. We stayed at Epcot a little longer, and then we were exhausted.
Well, you ate some Spam, and then we got...
All right, true. We went to the Hawaii booth to get the sliders, and when I handed the girl the ticket, I said, I got a slider and whatever else you want to hand me for free. And I smiled. I said with a smile, Derek. And she gave me Spam. I got the Spam. It was
sushi Spam.
Yeah.
It was very unique.
Which, is it sushi if it's cooked, processed ham byproduct? It's not fresh fish, I can tell you that.
So Doug can eat it, because Doug doesn't eat sushi where Derek does.
I don't eat raw things. I had too many biology classes. So that was a fun stop. We also stopped in Germany, had some strudel. I did not eat a fork.
I was watching the whole time. I had my phone ready. If it happened again, I was going to document it. That would have been viral, Doug. Our show would have went to the next level if you would have done it twice in a row.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, in September 2020, we did Food and Wine with Alex and Michelle, and I accidentally ate a tong, the thing, what do you call it? The prong of a fork. It broke off in the strudel, and we couldn't find it, so I'm pretty confident it made its way through things. Yes, but we recorded that show later that night after Pedals. That's a classic one. September of 2020 trip report. Go listen to that.
That's a good one. Then, yeah, we finished up again back at French Quarter, and that was you'd think that'd be an easy day, but boy, were we tired. But no, it's not tired enough because we got to go again.
So then, into the night at Scat Cats once again, and then the next morning we're up and at Hollywood Studios Rope Drop Tower. And then we had a meetup. We went back to Galaxy's Edge. You went to Woody's. I had a Ronto wrap.
That's a debate. By the way, thank you everyone who answered that on all of our social media. Even though Ronto wrap won, I'm still confident that Woody's Breakfast Bowl is the greatest quick service breakfast on property, where Doug will disagree with me. But yeah, we had to split up, and that's where we actually met the Black Spire podcast guys. So, and then they came to our meetup along with the Epic Disney Escape and Melody and Misty. So definitely a great turnout for our Hollywood Studios meetup. And touring plans gave away some goofy hats that you and I got some amazing pictures in.
Pictures in the goofy hats. That was goofy. And thank you to Chrissy from Touring Plans for bringing and getting us water and the goofy hats. And then we sat there, chatted for a while. People had to go their separate ways. Then we went and found the trumpet squid. And there she was in all her glory, or his glory.
Hashtag trumpet squid, it's a thing. We may have known what vehicle to get in, so we may have helped make sure. The people that had never seen the trumpet squid, we were going to make sure if they were riding with us, they were going to see it.
Yeah. The last two rows for sure. and then we argue about the other rows.
And then we actually did another meetup with John Raises. So when I was at D23, I actually picked something up for his daughter and was able to pass that along. Thank you guys for supporting the show as well. But that was fun to see John again, and for only like 5 minutes. But yeah, we had to then get back to, didn't we do Midway Mania again?
Yeah, we did Midway Mania and Slinky, and then lunch at the highest rated rat pizza around, Pizza Rizzo's.
Yeah, it was pizza. It was better than Pizza Fari. Still couldn't finish all the crust. Not as good as my pizza, which Doug still has never had, by the way. But we did it. We said on the show we were going to eat there. We did it. We had some listeners come out. It's a thing. And I'm good and probably not going to do it again for a while.
So the greatest thing about Pizza Rizzo's is you go upstairs and it's half the decibels of any other counter service restaurant.
We have recorded up there before.
Right. I don't think we can now. There's too many people back in the parks. And then to top that off, there's a ballroom on one end. And you go in there and it's like a early 90s, late 80s wedding reception. There's a dance floor. There's disco balls. Good times.
We did not dance there. We did dance later, we'll talk about. That got caught on video. So was that, I can't remember what anything else from Hollywood Studio. I think
it was nap time.
Yeah. And actually, Derek took a nap this time, which is weird, but I was still recovering from that red eye. So yeah, ran back to French Quarter. We had to shower, change, take a nap because we were going to go at it till midnight. We got tickets to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Yeah, which I'm glad we got them when we did because it's sold out, friends.
It sold out. Like Doug's like, hey, make sure you get your tickets. I got them, and they sold out the next day. So usually Derek hesitates on things like that. Glad I didn't on that one.
It would have been one of those moments where we left the French Quarter and waved at you.
Yeah.
Said, have a nice evening, Derek.
So we did dress up. I know a lot of people were wondering and even questioning some of our photos. So we went as Mickey's very Merry Christmas party outfit. So we were all wishing everyone we walked by Merry Christmas, all the characters. Mickey laugh, Minnie laugh. They got the joke. Some of the cast members did not get it at all.
I heard one cast member explain, as we went past, we weren't moving very fast, getting candy. And one cast member's like, why did they say Merry Christmas? And she's like, they're all wearing Christmas shirts. That was their costume. They're at the wrong party. Oh. So some of the cast members thought it was hilarious. My goal with any costume for Mickey's Not So Scary is to at least get a few cast members to go like, oh, that's good. Or like something they don't see and they don't know that they've seen that. But lazy costume, 100%. It was just a t-shirt. And when you go in September, you don't want to wear a full suit of Mr. Incredible muscles.
Yeah, I wonder who did that a few years ago. This guy, and I'm still recovering from that one as well.
Alex did it that same year as you, looking back at pictures. You and Alex had that in common.
It was a good year to do it. It was when Incredibles 2 came out. Yeah. So overall, I mean, it was so much fun to be able to get to the party, get candy. It's definitely one of my favorite parties to go to. But here's the biggest thing. The two attractions, Derek, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to do space and I want to do pirates because these are the two attractions they do special theming for. And guess what? Pirates never opened up. And when we got on space, it went down. So yeah, Derek did not get his two attractions in.
It's because you leaned against the wall, Derek.
It happens. So a little bummed about that, but we did get to meet some characters. So we met Minnie, Donald, and Daisy. Donald's still upset because all of our Christmas shirts, he was not on any of them.
He was not represented. And we'll talk a little more. We'll do a future show all about parties. That's kind of covers Halloween and Christmas since we did both Halloween and Christmas.
In one party.
In one party. And, I mean, there's different strategies, different things to enjoy. We saw the parade kind of 1.5 times. We saw the stage show with what sisters is that from?
Sanderson sisters. Really? Hocus Pocus, bud.
Dude, I'm too old for that movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually left Doug, and he held the spot because we had a great spot for the parade. And I'm like, I went right up on stage to watch that show. I got to see me some Oogie Boogie close up in person.
Back to the mouse and I held the space. We did a good job. We had our sharp elbows. Actually, we were sitting down, and I really was just hoping nobody tripped over our bags. But, it's Magic Kingdom's fault for not having lights on. The fireworks were great. The Jack Skellington, I don't even understand what it is entirely, but it was very cool looking.
to use a word you say I use too much on the show, it was phenomenal. Can I use it for this one?
You're allowed. You're allowed to say that's phenomenal. Pizza, Rizzo pizza, not phenomenal. Jack Skellington, phenomenal.
So yeah, we did. We went all the way to midnight. We actually got in line for Mickey, I think at 11:55. So able to get one last picture with Mickey all dressed up. And we were out of the park only to then spend, 5 hours sleeping? Because we had to come back today to rope drop. Because it's rope drop radio, we were going to do it.
Yeah, we rope dropped, but Michelle got held up at the tap style. So the first day we got here, they made her go to guest services because she renewed her annual pass last month. And they had to go verify information, right? So she did all that. She got a new card. She went through all those hoops and stuff. But then today when she was going in, they said that she had to go do the same thing. And that's what the cast member told her. And then like a different cast member's like, you don't have a park reservation, even though we can see the park reservation. So she was not happy. Also, if that was your one rope drop at Magic Kingdom, all of a sudden you were behind an extra 1,000 people. We weren't overly concerned because we weren't doing Mine Train, but any desire to do Mine Train at that point was over.
Yep.
Like if we went to Mine Train, we would have waited 45 minutes for it. Fortunately, our party divided space, and Derek and I did Buzz, but the Touring Plans agents and Back to the Mouse, they went to Space Mountain.
Well, and first, since you guys got held up, we actually rope dropped Starbucks. We were the first 3 people in Starbucks line, which I've done now twice. So, yes, those people who love coffee give us a hard time for not getting it. This time we did it.
And you guys got me and Michelle water, so thank you.
You're hydrated now, which is good.
I got my first Starbucks drink ever at Hollywood Studios yesterday. Ever. And I got the pink drink, which, Alex gave me a hard time about because it's what Alex is going to do. Because he says I'm not really an adult because I don't drink coffee. It's whatever. I'm short. I get it. I don't know if that's a short joke or an immaturity joke, Derek.
I don't know either. I was going to say because it stunted your growth, but you never drank it, so I guess I don't know. Yeah, we did get Starbucks a few times on this trip. And, we then had our meetup here. We did a rope drop jungle cruise, hit up Pirates real quick.
Double rope today.
Yep. Which you can only do at Magic Kingdom, and then did our meetup. So 10 o'clock, we went over to Gaston's and got some listeners and friends to come in. We gave away a Loungefly bag if you answered the correct trivia questions. Now let's see if our listeners know. We had we had backup, but it only took 2 to have the winner.
I had others brewing in my head in case we should have brought paper for them to write it down on. But so thank you to Touring Plans for providing the Loungefly bag to give away today. That was awesome. Also, thank you for buying cinnamon rolls and water, and we got the extra icing for everybody. But the trivia questions, ready, folks? What clothing item does Derek frequently fail to pack?
The answer is socks, which, for the record, I packed only the exact right amount for this trip, so I'm glad it didn't rain.
We're all glad it didn't rain. You were in a different building at French Quarter, but I could probably still smell the blow dryer in your shoes if need be. The second question was, what is Doug's favorite snack at the Magic Kingdom?
And the answer is Dole Whip. So yeah, 2 questions. You had to be able to listen to the show to know the answers. Madeline won, which I'm so happy because she had a Universal Loungefly bag on, which is unacceptable. Yeah, and now she actually has a Disney Loungefly bag.
You can't wear that into the Disney parks, Madeline. Come on now. But we figured those are questions that if you listen, you're gonna know those answers. So I'm glad we didn't have to go to like tiebreakers and stuff because then we would have to work harder.
I don't even know what a question would have been for that one. So blanking all of a sudden.
I had a few in my mind. Okay, I don't remember what they were, but thank you to Chrissy for coming, taking time out of her day to meet up with us to make the meetup a huge success. And then after the meetup, this is what we're doing now. Right now, we have come to the live portion of the show.
Yeah. So here we are recording. Back in the Magic Kingdom. We're about to hit up on a flight. I think we got to finish with the funniest thing that has happened to me. I checking in for my flight this morning because I always check in late. And Michelle's like, hey, where are you at? Because I jumped on last minute to Doug and Michelle's flight. There's only a couple seats left. Like, I didn't get a whole lot of choices. And where did I end up?
Next to me.
We did not plan that. It's going to look planned. Somehow our brains are in sync.
One of the 2 flights, and I can't remember the second, the Atlanta to Omaha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the longer one. I don't know if I'm excited or not, Derek. I don't know.
You don't want to be by me on this one because you were hoping to have a seat that was empty?
I was hoping to get the empty seat, but no, that's never going to happen these days.
Just the odds of it. I mean, there's like 33 roads times 6. I can't do math, but like the fact that I was able to pick just on a whim the one that you were at, that's classic. Classic Derek and Doug on that one.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know the odds, but they're low.
Well, we're not going to record this show on the airplane, that's for sure. So that's why we're doing it here. Overall, I got to say this is a phenomenal trip. Yes, D23, and then flying over to Walt Disney World. It's been a long Disney vacation, but it's been a really good one. And most of all, from like the bottom of our hearts, just so many people coming out. The fact that you're moving park passes to be able to come see us, just Doug and I couldn't be more thankful and blessed.
Yeah, a great group of people. Really enjoyed talking to everybody we met. You know, a meetup like that, if you're ever on the fence of making time, if it's not huge inconvenient for your family, you know, you're going to go meet a whole bunch of like-minded people that also really enjoy Disney, really enjoy the Disney parks. So you might come to a meetup and meet someone else at the meetup. It's not always about meeting Derek or I at the meetup, meeting the rest of the rope drop community, where you follow other people at the meetup on social media and you can become friends with them that way. It's pretty cool to see that happen too.
It is. I'm following a lot more people on Instagram, and everyone else is too. So we're all growing together. But seriously, guys, thank you so much. If you want to book a trip to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise, all the things, you definitely need a trip. I think that's the key. You need to go to touringplans.com/travel. We traveled with 3 amazing touring plans agents this trip, but they have so many more to offer. So when you're in there, how did you get referred? Click that Rope Drop Radio link and definitely let them know we sent you their way. And hopefully on the next Rope Drop Radio trip, which is, we might have one day in the park, I think, before.
Yeah, at least one night before the Star Cruiser. Who knows if we'll do a day afterwards or not. We'll see.
We will do something before or after the Star Cruiser trip, but that will be the next one. I know we always keep getting questions, when are you guys back? So that is it. So thank you guys so much for supporting the show, liking the show. Be sure to follow us on all the social media. We have some more Patreon special episodes coming your way, from D23 to the Back to the Mouse. Some of our people that travel with us might be talking about it. So yeah, we're about to record maybe in the car or on the way out. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Be sure to click that Patreon link in the show notes. Follow along. Thank you again, Touring Plans and Chrissy, for everything. But this has been Rope Drop Radio from the Magic Kingdom.